guys, this is Connor with Straight Six Archery. Today we just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown on strings, when to change them, what to look for, that whole sort of a deal here. So diving right into it, there are a lot of guys out there who don't think that you ever need to replace your strings, that you can get 10, 15 years out of them. We want to let you know that is completely false. Strings are probably one of the easiest parts of your bow to be damaged. They are constantly moving against one another. A lot of friction builds up because of that movement. Friction creates heat. It's going to degrade your strings. So we usually say, depending on the shooter, if you shoot a ton or if you don't shoot so much, you're kind of going to be in within 1 to 5 years on a string set. So we have a couple examples here for you. This is a great customer of ours who's been coming to us for a long time. He shoots an absolute ton. We'll show you guys these strings here. They are absolutely chewed up. Lots of frays on them. There's serving damage all over the bow. One of these strings is something where when you start seeing this stuff and you can't really wax it down anymore, especially these frays, it's something where you want to replace them. So we'll kind of show you in depth here. This string has been waxed throughout its lifetime. We are going to go a little bit over what you want to do with waxing, and that is going to be only on open sections of your string. You do not want to wax your serving. It's going to gum up your cams. It gets really nasty. It can gum up your cable rollers, and it adds more weight to your string, which can slow the bow down a little bit. When you do wax your string, you're going to put it on the open sections like I said, and you want to be rubbing it in until it gets hot in your fingers, like almost burning your fingers. Really, really hot. That way it melts to the inside of the string, not just the outside. That's very important for extending the longevity of your string. Keeping a little bit of wax on there is going to help pull all of your frays to the inside. When you do see them getting to this extent, or if they're losing strands, or if have an emergency happen, you accidentally cut a strand with a broadhead or something, that's grounds to replace it almost immediately. You do not want to keep shooting a string like that. It can change your timing, it can throw things off, and it becomes dangerous because if that string goes, your whole bow is gonna go on you, and that can cause way more damage and cost a lot more than a new string set. So you definitely want to be careful about that. But generally, 1 to 5 years is pretty much the good basis. Anything further than that can get a little dangerous. We've had guys come in, July, middle of August. They just brought their bow out to start shooting for the season, which I don't exactly recommend that. But we've had guys bring their bows in, say, I just pulled out of my case and my string snapped on me. What can I do? What can you do for me? And usually at that time of the year, it's 2 to 3 weeks on string. And those guys just kind of have to miss out on opening weekend. We don't want that to be you, so pay attention for sure. What we usually recommend for guys, if you're seeing anything with your serving where it just looks like it's separating a little bit or it's completely busted, you have a couple options. You can either patch those sections or bring it to us and patch them, which is what we're going to recommend to almost everybody out there. You know it's going to be done right. You can patch a couple sections on the string. Usually I say if you have 2, maybe 3 or more spots of serving that need to be replaced, it's worth it to just replace the whole string. You're going to get a better overall product, better quality out of it, a lot more longevity. It's really worth it to do that if you have a couple serving spots that are busted. It's going to just make your life a lot easier. So we got 2 bows here. Obviously this one is chewed up really bad. The other bow here, which is one of our coworkers, Jess, shout out Jess, this string is in perfect condition. There is 0 spots of serving. We'll show you guys up close here. There is no frays coming out of the string whatsoever. It looks pristine. When you're looking like that, you're good to go. You start seeing a little bit of fray on the string, throw some wax on, rub it in really well. You got nothing to worry about. You just extended the lifetime of your string, which is awesome. Another thing we like to get into here, and we recommend this to almost everybody, is having a backup string set. It can save your life during your season. So what pretty much every single one of us at the shop here do, we will take the stock strings of the bow, we're going to put a peep in it, we're going to tune it, we're going to break the strings in. Usually takes about 500 shots roughly, depending on the bow and the quality of the string. We'll break in the string, retune it, because your timing can move, changes where your D-loop position is. Very important to retune after you've broken in a string set. Once that's done, we'll put a new string on it, aftermarket most of the time, whether it be something like an ADB string here, a gas string set, which is what's on Jess's bow here. Those are the 2 that we usually use. What we'll do, once we put the new strings on, is same process. Tie in your peep where it needs to be, tune the bow completely, break it in, retune it again, because it's very important, Now we've got 2 string sets. Peep is perfect, D-loop position is perfect. What'll happen sometimes, you're out hunting, you pull out a broadhead, you accidentally just cut a strand on your string. Now, instead of having to wait 2 or 3 weeks to get a brand new string set, you've got one. It's broken in, it's tuned, your peep is set. You can bring it to us at the shop, usually within a couple days depending on what time of year you're bringing it in. We can have that bow shooting perfectly with the string set you've already used, timed, tuned, broadheads are gonna fly, ready to rock. Now instead of waiting 3+ weeks sometimes, you're at a couple days at the most. And if we're not too busy, same day most of the time. Now you've got a brand new string on the bow still, ready to go, and you're out hunting again. It's very important to do that because you never know what's gonna happen. Something gets caught in your cam, you derail the bow, it busts your string, you've got options. And it's very important to do that. So we always recommend that whenever you have the option to do it, get a backup string, get it tuned, do what you need to do. You're never gonna have a worry. That pretty much covers everything there. I do like to say a good time of the year to do a string, if you are gonna do one. Right now, it's November 1. We are in a spot right now where a lot of guys have hung up their bows. Some guys might still be shooting some does with those late season tags. If you're done with your bow, go get a string on it. Why would you wait? When you can have it done, once that sun starts coming out again, snow's gone, bust out your bow and start shooting it early. Now you've got months, usually about 5 or 6 months, where you can be shooting your bow before season. Everything should be good. If you're not shooting a ton, you shouldn't need another string set on it because you should have a backup. And you're good to go for the year. If you do it in July or August, you're limiting yourself to just a month or 2 of practice. And you never know if that's going to be enough. You want to make sure you're hitting a good shot when you're out there. So we always like to say, do it as early as you can. A lot of times here at Straight Six, we like to do a little bit of a special in the spring on strings. That can save you some money doing it too, and you're still getting a string where you're only waiting a couple weeks instead of a few, and you're good to go for the year. So keep all that in mind. Make sure that string set looks good before you put your bow away for the year. Get everything done when you need to, and you guys are all set. Thanks a ton for watching. We appreciate it. Have a good day.